Love the main menu stuff.
By defeating Ares, Kratos, the once mortal warrior, became the new god of war. However, Kratos soon found himself alone on Olympus, shunned by his fellow gods. But Kratos had no need for the love of petty gods. He had found a new family in the warriors of Sparta, gaining solace from his past, gone into battle.
My lord, Kratos! Another city is ready to fall! Soon all shall know the glory of Sparta!
Enough, Kratos! With every city you destroy, the wrath of Olympus grows. Soon I will no longer be able to protect you.
I need no protection.
Do not forget that it was I who made you a god ghost of Sparta. Do not turn your back on me.
I owe you nothing.
Then you leave me no choice.
Kratos had turned the pain of his memories into hatred. Hatred for the gods, who had refused to free him from the nightmares of his past youth. And so he went to Rome to deliver the final blow to the besieged city.
You conspire against me!
And that is the introduction of God of War 2. Dude, when I saw the introduction of God of War 2 and being able to play the beginning part of God of War 2, in my opinion, like the very beginning, like not just the intro, but like after all that cinematic stuff, you get right into the gameplay and you play like this OP version of Kratos where he obviously has become a god. You know, he basically has all his abilities. Like, basically, Poseidon's Rage, you know, he has the Blades of Chaos. They're all powerful. Like, all of his items are powerful and whatnot. I'm not going to lie. When I first started out playing God of War 2, I fell in love with the experience, like, immediately. Because, as you guys know, God of War 1 was a great game. I played it. I had a lot of dislikes from it. But I also loved God of War 1 a lot as well. So, at the same time. So, it was like a mixed experience. So, it was like a very mixed experience. But, with God of War 2, I immediately fell in love with everything the game was offering me right at the start, because they start me off being super powerful. Then obviously Athena, as the game slowly moves forward, Kratos loses his godly powers and he becomes immortal again, and you know, has to find his way around everything in God of War 2. Like, obviously, like, the gameplay for God of War 2 is going to be, like, the exact same as God of War 1, if not just better. Like, the weaponry you get is better. All that other sort of stuff is better. Like, the weaponry. The weaponry is better, bro. Because, of course, it's going to be better. Because, you know, it's God of War fucking 2, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? So. Sorry, there was an ad for Kamala Harris. And I just want to show off a little bit more of God of War 2. Just a little bit more of God of War 2. You know, like, show off some of its gameplay and its nastiness, bro. Of Kratos becoming immortal, you know. And also him putting all of his power into the Blade of Olympus. Bro, the Blade of Olympus. I want to talk about the Blade of Olympus. Oh my God. I remember when I had that thing for the first time in my life, like, ever. Being able to destroy, like, this giant giant thing by using the power of the blade of Olympus. Look at this. Just look at this. You're sitting there trying to hit this thing's giant freaking fist, and you're like, bro, Kratos has fought ginormous ass things, even God of War 2. But anyways, you put all of your power, all of your energy into the blade of Olympus. Oh my god. Dude, I remember this bit like it was nothing, man. By the way, the gaming Kratos I'm using footage for. Dead. Putting all Kratos' magic in it. Yes, you obviously had to do this part a lot where the slams, I remember the slams were murking me a lot during this bit of God of War 2. But anyways, enough about that bit of God of War 2. You had to go like inside. I remember you had to go inside the statue's body and like go in and out, destroying layers of its freaking stuff. And then I think Kratos got yeeted to like an ice-like land, had to do some stuff to grab like some type of arrow, if I remember correctly. Like I said, this game's like, to like kind of sum up God of War 2, there was a lot of bits, and actually, you know what, I'll show a lot less gameplay and stuff of God of War 2, mainly because like I don't want to like spoil the whole game, even though it is a 20-year-old game. You know, well, 20-year-old game, that's kind of stretching it, but you know. No, stretching. Leave me alone. But I remember like when I was playing God of War 2, there was a lot of bits that I loved throughout the game, especially getting the weapons, like the barbarian, the same barbarian that Kratos slain before God of War 1 using the Blades of Chaos for the first time. I remember getting that hammer, which was cool. The freaking Spear of Destiny, that shit was cool. Flying on flying birds, that was pretty cool. Fuck, I don't remember what else, but you get like this holy arrow thing that I love to just spam on my enemies. Like, I just remember, like, because, let's be honest, in God of War's case, for God of War 1, 2, and 3, they all play the same. The same with Chains of Olympus, same with, Ghost of Sparta. You know, all those games play exact same as Ascension, so I don't want to explain, like, the gameplay too much. But, I remember when I was going through this game, again, a lot of moments I loved, a lot of moments that I disliked. It kind of, like, to me, I remember I was talking to Chris when playing God of War 2. I don't know, to me, God of War 2 felt like I was playing God of War 1 again. And I don't know if this is because this is what happens when you play something like in the God of War series that has too many games that play exactly the same. If not, like, one does one better than the other, and that's, like, the difference between the games. I mean, obviously, the story is completely different. It's all about Kratos, like, defying the gods, wanting to hunt down and murk Zeus, and he uses the Sisters of Fates to do it, which, by the way, the Sisters of Fate's temple is fucking awful. I hated the Sisters of Fate. Their boss fight was fucking crazy, too. And I definitely hated doing the Sisters of Fate temple and a lot of the puzzle aspects of the game. But yeah, like, you can just think about it like this for me. Like, I was getting mad at God of War 2 for almost the exact same things I was getting mad at God of War 1 for. Like, here and there, I'll see a platforming puzzle that I cannot figure out on my own. I have to, like, look up a guide to, like, sit there and figure out what to do. Or I'm more than halfway through the puzzle, and, like, the last itty-bitty bit of the puzzle is screwing with me, and I'm starting to, like, feel some type of way about it. Now, another question I know people are probably going to ask me is, was God of War 2 pissing you off, like, as much as God of War 1? Like, in terms of not just puzzles, but, like, in terms of, like, the Hades bit, where you go to hell and stuff? And the answer to that is just straight up no. Going back to the underworld and rising back up to, you know, above everything again was nowhere near as bad in God of War 2 as God of War 1. Because I think, they took the criticism from oh my, I don't know why YouTube always does that to me. For some reason, YouTube always does that to me. Makes me freeze and pause and whatnot. But back to what I was saying Hades' realm in God of War 2 was nowhere near as bad as God of War 1 with those spiked pillar bullshit. And if you hit one spike, you go all the way down. That's something from God of War 1 that I can remember. I'm going to remember that for the rest of my fucking days. But, oh, and just like those spiked pillars too, those skinnier spiked pillars were the little spiked pieces. But that's God of War 1, not God of War 2. But yeah, I remember, like, just going through it, sitting through it, having my PS3 controller playing, you know, both God of War 1 and 2 through the HD collection on PS3, because that's, you know, I have a PS3. By the way, loved God of War 2's art, menu music, all that stuff. Great stuff right here. But my point is like, the game to me, like, there was obviously a lot of different settings, set pieces, music's completely different from God of War 1. The story's a little different. It's just that obviously Kratos has way more hatred than ever before. Because before, he was fine with the other gods. It was just, you know, wanting him to get rid of his memories and also getting revenge on Ares. But this one, it's like all the gods gotta fucking go. Well, that's God of War 3, but basically Zeus gotta go. You know what I mean? Zeus gotta go for, you know, fucking with me and everything. And, you know, Olympus and whatnot, whatever. But yeah, to me, I remember that's what I felt like when playing this more and more. And it just kind of grew, like that feeling just kind of grew as time went along. Like, dude, I can barely like remember this game in my memory. Like right now, like I remember some stuff, but like it's starting to fade. God of War 2 is starting to fade in my mind. You know what I mean? A little bit. I mean, there was some sections that I can remember from here and there, but not like the entire experience. I mean, there was so much that I did in God of War 2, especially because like I was spanning across multiple games during God of War 2. I guess that doesn't help me either. But yeah, but I remember something I do remember though is that some boss fights in God of War 2 to me, in my personal opinion, just were not good. Like for example, when you fought that invisible dude in the water, I felt like that boss fight in comparison to like God of War 1's bosses was kind of lame. I also felt like this giant female-looking thing that blocks out your, I don't fucking know, like, fate shit? I don't, it was this big old fat bitch, big old chick in a tank, and like, you had to like, push these things that moved levers. I hated that boss fight. I didn't like it. It was such a mid-ass thing. And then the time warping, the time jumping to the beginning of where you meet Zeus and stuff, which was really cool. I liked that bit. Obviously, in this game, Athena passes away. Kratos stabs her with the blade of Olympus. I remember when I saw that, I was kind of sitting there looking at God, like, I was like, so that's where Athena died. Because, don't get me wrong, Athena's in the third game, but I was kind of confused, like, what happened to Athena after that. She just kind of became, like, a lingering spirit, you know, after God of War 2. And I was like, I wonder why. And then now, after I played God of War 2 to figure out that Kratos, you know, she jumped in the way of Kratos when Kratos could have had his revenge on Zeus. And she, you know, and they had that small convo and was like, she was like, can you show me the game? Yeah, I can show you a little bit of the game. I just don't, my memory of God of War 2 is slowly fading from my mind. Because, like, me and Chris were having a big conversation after I finished the game. I was talking about, like, dude, my experience with, like, God of War 2 and God of War 1 are feeling kind of samey right now. Mainly because of, not because of what the game is and what it looks like and what it sounds like, but just because I'm doing, like, the same things I would have done in, like, God of War 1. You know what I mean? To me, it felt the same. Can you not talk and play the game? I can do that, but like I said, I don't really fucking do the two separately. Plus, I already played all of God of War 2. I'm planning on playing God of War 3, like, for a full gameplay thing, because I didn't want to, like, use my iPhone for God of War 1 and 2, because I just kind of wanted to play those, like, off camera and then make, like, videos talking about, like, my time with them, my bits with them. But anyways, let me try to remember some bits I didn't like in God of War 2, like story-wise. You played GTA 5? Barely played GTA 5. I didn't really like play GTA 5 all that much. But let me just go to a moment that I can remember. Because, like I said, I'm slowly losing my memory on this. Because I don't know, like, to me, it really does feel like, yeah, I probably would have done some of this shit in God of War 1. I probably would have done, or I have done something similar to this before, 2 times, because I remember Chains of Olympus was the first well, 4 times actually, because, I played Ascension, God of War Ascension, which I didn't like, and then Chains of Olympus brought me back in, and which that was different enough for me, and then God of War 1 came in, and then God of War 2, so that's 4 God of War experience I already have. But yeah, I'm not remembering, like, where it is specifically I didn't like, other than, like, maybe the Zeus fight and whatnot, the Kronos fight, getting Earthshaker was cool. Again, some of the puzzles I just disliked. Because, like, it just kind of reminds me, like, when I talk about it, like, the way I am right now, it's really reminding me of God of War 1, because I'm disliking it for the same reasons, as last game, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's just God of War 2 for me in a nutshell, man. Don't get me wrong. I love God of War 2. I liked playing the game, and the Temples of Fate or the Sisters of Fate, like, they sucked. I hated them as a boss fight. Oh, and then this hold on. This bit, I do remember this bit. This is a fucking ad. Don't worry about that. But this bit where you're Kratos and shit. Yo, people want you to play the game. Yeah, I know people probably want me to play the game, but I already have. I already played it. That's why my experiences happen, because it's talking about my experience, or, because I don't have it on PS5 right now. But I already have it on PS3, which is right there. But I remember this bit on the bridge, and I was sitting there like, why is this bit taking so long? Like, I remember this bit was long. And then, if I remember, like, this was, like, near endgame. This was the fat bitch I was talking about way earlier, where you have to, like, use the levers and murk this thing. This behemoth of the fucking thing. That was weird. Oh, but hold on. No, this was a good bit right here. I'm just gonna let it play in its entirety right here, bro. Kratos versus Zeus, God of War 2 was great. I remember when I got here, and I was like, is Zeus going big? Yep, Zeus is going big, which I don't know what the deal is with them going big, and that's supposed to be like a fucking crazy thing, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me from Dragon Ball Z, but, like, I just remember going big, all it does is just make you a bigger target. Like, it doesn't make you, like, destroy, like, more things or something. I don't know. It's weird. I just always think of it that way whenever I see a giant thing in front of me. But I remember seeing Zeus like this, and I had to do this whole fight right here. And, I was just like Kratos right here, where you have to do all this stuff, bullshit swinging and whatever. I'm just going to skip right to, like, the cutscene, because this is pretty much the end. I don't have really much to say, outside of what I've already just said. Yeah, you got a match circle right here. I don't know what move this is, but it completely messes Kratos up, like, to the point where he just does this. You'll see. This was really cool, Kratos. This is a strategy.
Release me from this torment. I choose from your life, my son, but your torment is just beginning.
Ugh. Jesus, breaking the arm. Oh. And then look at this bit.
You cannot do this, Kratos!
Dare stand against me, Athena?
I do not wish to fight you, Kratos, but I will defend Olympus!
I remember this bit. I was like,
You have started a war you cannot possibly win. The fates have already deemed me victorious.
No, Kratos! Stop!
I remember this bit was kind of rough for me because I was sitting there like, bro.
Sacrifice yourself.
Save Olympus.
Bro, you know what? Actually, I want to talk about something that no one tends to talk about when they talk about young Kratos. Everyone says, and I remember this bothers me as a God of War fan, playing the games for the first time, and just going through this, and I can just see this, and I don't know why, like, a lot of people, like, at different points or earlier points just could not see this. Kratos, you know, in my opinion, God of War 1, God of War 2, a lot of people say Kratos has always been like this unstoppable beast of a man. People say Kratos is this murderous, one-note, one-dimensional character, but literally if you played, I don't even know how, like if you played God of War 1, you just even God of War 1 and 2, bro, you can see that Kratos isn't just a one-dimensional character. You know what I mean? Like, he does do all the slaying of gods, and he does do, like, all this stuff, murking lots of beasts and strong enemies that are in his path. But if you really think about it, like, Kratos outside of that, literally, all the events of God of War 1, if you remember, from watching my other video, or just played God of War 1 for yourself, all Kratos wanted to do was rid the memories of him slaying his own family. The torment. He literally tried to murk himself because of that, dude. Bro, Kratos is human as fuck. And yet there's so many people that, like, don't want to humanize Kratos. You know what I mean? Or don't think of him like that. They only think of him as this raging, hulking beast when that is far from the truth. Like when he just murked Athena that we just watched. Bro, Kratos was like, no, why did you do that? You know, and even throughout God of War 2, I noticed Kratos' like, humanity is still there. You know, like, his, I don't know, his humanity's still there. Now, I get it. When it comes to God of War 3 Kratos was completely ruthless. I'll give you guys that one. But people say he was always like that. When I'm like, God of War 1 and God of War 2, he was never like just this ruthless killing machine that would just murk everything he sees. You know, he's so, so filled with revenge and rage. Sadly, that's what the original creator of Kratos saw his character as, only as a rage monster. When literally, God of War 1 and 2, he only did all those things if it was necessary. Or if they had it coming / they deserved it, whatnot. Even though Kratos, even in God of War 1 at points, and God of War 2, did murk people just because he could for, like, no reason at times. But he's not completely heartless in God of War 1 and 2. Anyways, let me continue this. By the way, welcome, Lucas, to the stream.
Destroy Olympus. Only Zeus.
Zeus is Olympus.
He brought this to himself.
Because of
This was when Kratos turned, I think.
a fear felt by his father, Kronos. A fear that wrought the Great War. A fear that drove Zeus to kill you. His own son.
his son.
Just as Zeus was compelled to destroy his father Kronos, you are compelled to do the same. No son should destroy his own father.
And I kind of love how in later games they kind of reflect on what Athena said in God of War 2 right here in like Ragnarok and God of War 4 and stuff. Anyways.
No, I have no father.
God will deny you, Kratos. They will protect Zeus. Zeus must live so that Olympus will prevail.
If all on Olympus will deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die. I have lived in the shadow of the gods for long enough. The time of the gods has come to an end.
Remember, Kratos, you have the power to control time itself.
I'm not gonna lie, that close shot up of Kratos being pissed, like saying this is what happens when you fuck with me. I will show you the monster that you have fucking made, bro. I remember when I saw that face for the first time, bro, Ronaldo or Messi, why do people keep asking me that when I always tell them I don't care about either one? I don't watch soccer all that much. I don't watch sports like that. Sure, I play them in Wii Sports, but outside of that, like, I don't really care too much about, like, every sport in the universe. Anyways, or just soccer in this case. But anyways, when I saw that final cutscene, and then, you know, them actually later on having a cutscene that would later go on to God of War 3 and kind of show us the introduction of God of War 3, like giving us like the idea of how God of War 3 is going to start, because God of War 2 leads right into God of War 3, because that's the game I have to play after this. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, now God of War 3 is starting to make sense, because God of War 3 was my first God of War game I ever played. So playing now, all these years later, playing them in proper order. Well, not really proper order, because I played Chains of Olympus, which was supposed to be right after God of War 1 or some stupid shit or whatever. Because I played them kind of out of order, because I already had Ascension there, and I said I want to play God of War, and I want to play Ascension. But you get the point, right? Now that I'm playing them in, you know, God of War 1, God of War 2, going on and continuing the story like I am right now, it's like, now God of War 3 makes more sense. Like, the intro into God of War 3 makes sense. I mean, even without God of War 1 and 2, you can play God of War 3 in itself and have a full fucking story and have a good time playing through it. Because that's what you know what I mean? But anyways, that's God of War 3. God of War 2, at the end of the day, I thought was a good experience. But I can't lie to you and say it didn't feel samey to God of War 1. To me, in a lot of ways. I'm not saying it's like a copy of God of War 1, but there's a lot of, like, elements that God of War 2 did that God of War 1 also did. I mean, that's like me saying Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 are samey because of that, but at least Galaxy 2, you know, there's a whole lot different about Galaxy 2 that makes it completely different. But I'm not saying God of War 1 and God of War 2 are completely the same or carbon copies of one another. It's just that, to me, I can't lie, there's a lot of things that made me feel samey about God of War 1 and 2. It's just that 2 did a lot of those things God of War 1 did better. Yeah, in some ways, but also there was others where God of War 1, I think I preferred some things in God of War 1 over 2, but I don't know, that's just me. I don't know if I'm being very divisive, I don't know if I'm being very, something else, but yeah, that's my experience with God of War 2. I know it's nowhere near as long as God of War 1, but today, I'm just kind of feeling like making something and showing it off, making like little, smaller, bit-sized videos so you can just watch it in one sitting, you know what I mean? Instead of like 5-6 sittings probably for my God of War 1 my experience video. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. I hope you enjoyed this little throwback of my experience with God of War 2. Even if my memory of God of War 2 is kind of fading in the background a little bit with like what I can remember from the game, I still think it's a good game just to play. Do I recommend it? Is it like, you know, yeah, I definitely would recommend it if you're going to get into the story and play all the games. Play all the games, man. But, yeah, anyways, until then, see you guys later. For real this time, I'll see you guys later. I probably won't do anything else for the rest of the day because I also already uploaded some shorts. I uploaded Pumpkin Jack, my experience with Pumpkin Jack. I just wanted to do this one because I kind of want to get into, you know, the certain one everyone talks about. You know, make that YouTube Let's Play series on God of War 3. You know, the one everybody loves. You know, whenever they talk about the Grease trilogy, it's always 3. So look forward to that God of War 3 playthrough. Anyways, take it easy, guys. And I will have my revenge.